The number on the screen read, zero. Not $431,000. Not the 17 years of sacrifice I'd poured into that account. Just zero. A digital void where my daughter's futures used to live. I refreshed the page. Still zero. Refreshed again. My hands started shaking so badly I nearly dropped my laptop. This was Kennedy and Peyton's college fund. Every overtime shift I'd ever worked at Denver General. Every birthday check. Every Christmas bonus. Every moment I'd chosen their dreams over my own comfort while driving my ancient Civic past the luxury cars in the hospital parking lot. Gone. The coffee mug fell from my other hand, exploding against the kitchen tile. September sunlight poured through the windows like nothing was wrong, like the world hadn't just tilted sideways and dumped me into free fall. If you believe that betrayal always comes full circle, hit that like button, subscribe to Formidable Revenge channel. I love you and share this story, because what happens next will restore your faith in justice. I grabbed my phone with trembling fingers and called Rocky Mountain Credit Union. The customer service representative sounded professionally sympathetic, which somehow made it worse. Mrs. Crawford, I can confirm a wire transfer was executed 3 days ago. All funds are transferred to an offshore account. Authorization came from the secondary account holder. Who authorized this? My voice came out as a whisper. Your husband, Mr. Garrett Crawford. He provided all correct security credentials and passwords. The phone nearly slipped from my grip. Garrett, my husband of 19 years. The man who'd coached our daughter's soccer team, who'd kissed me goodbye every single morning, who'd promised forever. I called his cell, straight to voicemail, called his office at Patterson & Associates architecture firm. His assistant Carol sounded confused. Garrett requested 2 weeks personal leave starting yesterday. He said it was a family emergency. I assumed you knew, Mrs. Crawford. I didn't know anything when Kennedy and Peyton came downstairs, my 17-year-old twins, brilliant and beautiful and full of dreams about Stanford and Columbia. I had to say the words that would shatter them. The college fund is gone. Your father took it. All of it. I expected tears, screaming, panic. Instead, my daughters exchanged a look that made my blood run cold. Mom, Kennedy said, her voice eerily calm. We need to talk. The kitchen floor was still covered in broken ceramic when my daughters sat me down and rebuilt my entire reality. We've known for 4 months, Peyton said quietly. 4 months. While I'd been planning family dinners and anniversary surprises, my 17-year-old daughters had been living with knowledge that would have destroyed me. Kennedy opened her laptop. Back in May, I needed to print my AP Calculus project. My laptop crashed, so I borrowed Dad's. His email was open, an account we'd never seen before. She turned the screen toward me. Hundreds of emails to someone named Sienna Vale, love letters, plans, promises that made my stomach turn. Meet me in Grand Cayman next month, baby. Just a few more weeks and we're free. Finally leaving that cold marriage. You're everything she never was. The girls won't understand now, but someday they'll see I deserve happiness. Each word was a knife between my ribs. Garrett had called our marriage cold, called me inadequate, reduced 19 years to an inconvenience he was finally escaping. Why didn't you tell me? I managed. Because we needed proof, Kennedy said. Her eyes were too hard for 17. We needed to document everything. Peyton pulled out a thick folder. Garrett didn't just steal the college fund, Mom. He took out a second mortgage on our house, forged your signature perfectly. We had a handwriting expert verify it. He liquidated his entire retirement account. He sold stocks you didn't even know he had. My hands went numb. How much? $847,000. Total. The number hung in the air like a death sentence. Nearly $1 million. Our entire life savings, gone. Not impulsive, not a mistake. This was calculated, systematic. He'd been planning this for over a year. "Who is she?" I whispered. Kennedy clicked to a social media profile. A stunning woman, mid-30s, dark hair, perfect smile. Her bio read, "Marketing executive, living my best life, manifesting abundance." "Sienna Vale," Peyton said. "Except that's not her real name." "What?" "We hired a private investigator. Linda Torres, former FBI, cost us $2,000 from our summer job savings." Kennedy's jaw tightened. Sienna Vale is actually Sabrina Vance. She's wanted in 3 states for financial fraud. She's done this twice before. Finds married men, seduces them, convinces them to liquidate everything, then disappears with the money. My vision tunneled. Garrett doesn't know. Garrett has no idea he's being conned by the woman he's conning us for. Peyton confirmed. He thinks she's in love with him. He thinks they're starting a new life together in the Caymans, but Sabrina's already planning her exit strategy. Kennedy closed her laptop and looked at me with eyes that had aged decades in 4 months. "We've been building a case against him. Every email, every transaction, every lie. We called it Operation Phoenix." "Phoenix," I repeated numbly. "Because we're going to rise from the ashes of his betrayal," Peyton said, "and he's going to burn." They showed me everything. Garrett had been meticulous in his planning. He'd started moving money 18 months ago. Small amounts at first, testing whether I'd notice. I hadn't. I'd been too busy working double shifts, covering for understaffed departments, being the dependable head nurse while my husband systematically dismantled our lives. He'd researched offshore banking, studied the Cayman Islands tax laws, created fake expense reports at work to justify his frequent business trips that were actually romantic getaways with Sabrina. "He told her we were emotionally distant," Kennedy said, her voice cracking. "That you were cold and controlling. That Peyton and I were entitled brats who expected everything handed to us." The betrayal cut deeper than the money. He'd rewritten our entire family history to justify abandoning us. Made himself the victim. Made us the villains. "He's already there," Peyton added. "He checked into the Coral Bay Resort 4 days ago. Penthouse suite. Sabrina met him there yesterday. Linda Torres had been tracking everything. Garrett thought he was invisible, but my daughters and their private investigator had been 3 steps ahead the entire time." "Phase 1 started last week," Kennedy explained. "We sent anonymous copies of all evidence to 3 people. Garrett's boss. Sabrina's husband, yeah. She's married, he had no idea. And Linda, to make everything legal." "Sabrina has a husband?" "A wealthy one in Miami, real estate developer. She's stolen from him twice and he kept taking her back. Not this time, though. We made sure he saw everything." My daughters had orchestrated a counterattack while I'd been sleepwalking. They'd been warriors while I'd been blind. "Why didn't you go to the police?" "Because the police would have frozen everything during the investigation," Kennedy said. "We would have lost months, maybe years. The house would have gone into foreclosure. Your credit would have been destroyed. We needed to hit him harder and faster." "Phase 2 is already in motion," Peyton said, pulling up her phone. Kennedy hacked into the Cayman account. "You what?" "I know it's illegal," Kennedy admitted. "But desperate times, Mom. And I found something interesting. Sabrina's been moving the money. Small amounts every day. In 3 days, she'll have transferred everything to a cryptocurrency wallet. Then she vanishes, and Garrett's left holding the bag. He has no idea he's about to lose everything," I said slowly. Peyton smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. "He's about to find out what betrayal really feels like." The next 72 hours crawled by like years. No word from Garrett. Not a text. Not an email. Nothing. He'd erased himself from our lives like we'd never existed. Linda Torres called twice daily with updates. Garrett's living large, champagne brunches, couples spa treatments. He charged a $3,000 dinner to his credit card last night, lobster and vintage wine. Meanwhile, Kennedy and Peyton were hunched over laptops in our living room, tracking every digital footprint. They'd transformed from teenagers into hackers, following cryptocurrency trails and offshore transfers like seasoned investigators. Sabrina's getting nervous, Kennedy reported on day 2. She's accelerating her timeline. She's moving larger amounts now. Can you stop her? I asked. Not yet. If I interfere too early, she'll know someone's watching. We need to wait until she thinks she's won. I filed a police report, but with evidence of Garrett's voluntary wire transfer and his authorized leave from work, they couldn't classify him as missing. He'd chosen to abandon us. That wasn't a crime, just a devastation. I should have been crying. Instead, I felt something colder settling into my chest. Fury that had calcified into something sharp and focused. Patterson and Associates called on day 3. Garrett's boss, Mr. Harrison, sounded grim. Mrs. Crawford, we need to discuss some irregularities we've discovered in your husband's accounts. Could you come in? The meeting lasted 2 hours. Garrett had been embezzling from the firm. Small amounts over 3 years, hidden in expense reports and fake vendor invoices. Harrison estimated he'd stolen nearly $90,000 from the company. We're pressing charges, Harrison said. I'm sorry, Mrs. Crawford. I know this affects your family. My family ended when he drained my daughter's college fund, I replied. My voice sounded like someone else's. Someone harder. Do what you need to do. That night, Linda called with the final piece of the puzzle. Sabrina bought a one-way ticket to Singapore, leaves tomorrow at 6 p.m. from Cayman. She's not taking Garrett with her. He doesn't know, I said. He has no idea. He thinks they're flying to Switzerland next week to look at chalets. Kennedy was tracking the cryptocurrency transfers in real time. She's moving the last of it now. Everything's going into her wallet. She'll have it all in 4 hours. Then what? I asked. My daughters exchanged that look again. The one that said they'd planned something I couldn't imagine. Then we take it all back, Peyton said quietly. Every single penny. If you're wondering how 2 teenagers outsmarted a con artist and a cheating husband, stay tuned because this revenge is about to get brilliant. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Formidable Revenge channel, and comment where you're watching from. Kennedy explained the plan while I sat frozen on our couch. 3 weeks ago, I created a backdoor into Sabrina's cryptocurrency wallet. She doesn't know it exists. When she transferred Garrett's money in, she was actually transferring it exactly where I wanted it. You're 17, I said weakly. I've been coding since I was 11. I got early admission to Stanford for a reason. Kennedy's fingers flew across her keyboard. Sabrina thought she was smarter than everyone. She wasn't smarter than me. Peyton pulled up bank statements. We also recovered documentation on her previous cons. 2 other families in the past 6 years. Both times, she convinced married men to liquidate everything. Both times, she disappeared with millions. The men went to prison for fraud and embezzlement. She walked away clean. Not this time, Kennedy said. This time, we documented everything, her real identity, her false identities, bank records, travel records. We sent copies to the FBI, to Interpol, and to every victim she's ever created. I stared at my daughters, these fierce, brilliant women I'd raised without realizing how powerful they'd become. They'd spent 4 months protecting me while I'd been oblivious. Garrett embezzled from his firm, Peyton continued. Harrison's pressing charges. That's 15 to 20 years. But if he cooperates, if he testifies against Sabrina, he might get it reduced to 5 with good behavior. I don't want him to cooperate, I heard myself say. I want him to suffer. Kennedy looked at me with something like approval. He will, Mom. Trust us. At 11:43 p.m., Kennedy's laptop chimed. Sabrina just transferred the last of the money. She has it all now. $847,000 in her cryptocurrency wallet. Now? I asked. Now we move it back. Kennedy's fingers danced across her keyboard. Lines of code scrolled past faster than I could follow. Peyton was on her laptop too, running interference, creating false trails and digital dead ends. Got it, Kennedy breathed. I'm transferring everything to a new wallet I created. Sabrina's going to log in tomorrow morning and find zero. Just like we found zero, Peyton said softly. Except we're not keeping it, Kennedy added. We're transferring it back to our accounts. All of it. Plus the interest Garrett's investments have earned. I watched numbers flow across the screen. Hundreds of thousands of dollars moving through digital space, coming back home. The college fund reappearing. The retirement account restored. The mortgage paid off. Done, Kennedy said finally. Every penny accounted for. Actually, we made $43,000 from the cryptocurrency fluctuations. Silver lining. What happens when Sabrina finds out? I asked. She'll panic, Peyton predicted. She'll think Garrett somehow double-crossed her. She'll run, and when she runs, the FBI will be waiting. And Garrett? Kennedy smiled that cold smile again. Garrett's about to have the worst day of his life. Friday morning arrived with rain hammering against the windows. Kennedy and Peyton were glued to their laptops, monitoring everything in real time. Sabrina just logged into her wallet, Kennedy reported. She's seeing zero. I imagined her panic. The woman who'd conned countless men, who destroyed families without remorse, staring at an empty account. She's making calls, Peyton said, listening to audio they'd somehow tapped. She's calling Garrett. But Garrett wasn't answering, because Garrett was discovering his own nightmare. Linda Torres called at 10:17 a.m. Garrett just tried to withdraw cash from the Cayman account, declined. He tried his credit cards, all frozen. He's at the bank now, demanding answers. What are they telling him? I asked. That all his accounts have been flagged for suspicious activity, that there's an ongoing investigation, that his assets are frozen pending review. But there's no investigation, I said slowly. There is now, Linda replied. Anonymous tips went to the Cayman Islands Financial Intelligence Unit this morning. They're moving fast. This was the darkest moment, the point where everything hung in balance. Garrett was trapped in the Caymans with no money. Sabrina was panicking in her hotel room, and we were here, waiting for the final piece to fall. Mom, Peyton said carefully, Linda found something else. Something we didn't know. My heart sank. What? Garrett has another account. One Kennedy didn't find. It only has about $50,000 in it, but it's enough for him to run. He could disappear before the authorities catch up. The plan was falling apart. All our careful preparation, and Garrett might slip through anyway. Where's the account? I demanded. Local credit union. Small. Off the grid. He opened it 2 years ago under his mother's maiden name. It's technically not illegal since it's his own money, but it shows he's been planning this even longer than we thought. Kennedy was already typing frantically. I can't access it remotely. Their security is too tight. We'd need physical access. Then we're too late, I said, feeling the hope drain away. He'll use that money to disappear. New identity, new country. We'll never find him. No, Peyton said fiercely. We didn't come this far to lose now. But I could see the defeat in their eyes. They were brilliant, but they were 17. They'd done everything possible, and it might not be enough. The phone rang. Unknown number. I answered on speaker. Mrs. Crawford? A woman's voice, professional but warm. This is Agent Rebecca Kim, FBI Financial Crimes Division. I understand you've been gathering evidence against Sabrina Vance. We'd like to meet. Agent Kim arrived at our house within 2 hours. She was mid-40s, sharp-eyed, carrying a briefcase that looked heavier than she was. "Your daughters have been busy," she said, spreading documents across our dining room table. "They've handed us the most comprehensive case against Sabrina Vance we've ever had. She's been our white whale for 6 years." "You knew about her?" I asked. "We've suspected, but she's careful. Uses fake identities, moves frequently, never stays in one place long enough for us to build a case. Until now." Agent Kim looked at Kennedy and Peyton with something like awe. "You two did in 4 months what our entire department couldn't do in years." "Can you catch her?" Peyton asked. "She's already in custody. Singapore immigration arrested her an hour ago when she tried to board her flight. Turns out having Interpol alerts on every fake identity she's ever used is remarkably effective." I felt something release in my chest. "And Garrett?" "That's more complicated." Agent Kim pulled out another file. "Your husband is facing multiple charges: embezzlement from his employer, wire fraud, forgery. The Cayman authorities have frozen his accounts. He has no access to funds." "Except the hidden account," Kennedy said quietly. Agent Kim raised an eyebrow. "You found that?" "We just discovered it this morning. How did—" She shook her head. "Never mind. I don't want to know. Anyway, yes. He has one small account left. About $48,000. "Enough to run," I said. "Except he doesn't know we know about it. And we're monitoring it. The moment he tries to access it, we'll be there." Agent Kim leaned forward. "Mrs. Crawford, I need you to understand something. Your husband is going to call you. Probably soon. He's desperate, trapped, and you're his only lifeline. I won't help him. I'm not asking you to help him. I'm asking you to answer when he calls. Keep him talking. Let him reveal where he is, what he's planning. Give us time to coordinate with Cayman authorities." Kennedy and Peyton exchanged looks. "We want to hear the call," Kennedy said. "We deserve to hear him admit what he did." Agent Kim nodded. "I think that's fair. When he calls, put him on speaker. Let him say everything. Let him dig his own grave." She left us with recording equipment and instructions. Now we waited. The call came at 11:47 p.m. We were in the living room, surrounded by college brochures my daughters were reviewing with determination, pretending normalcy was possible. When my phone rang with Garrett's number, we all froze. I answered on speaker. "Hello." "Talia." His voice was destroyed, hoarse, desperate, trembling. "Talia, please. I need help." I said nothing, just waited. Let him fill the silence with his panic. "Everything's gone. The money, Sienna, my job, everything. I've been scammed. She took everything from me, from us. From us. Like he hadn't been the one who started this. I need you to wire money, just enough for a plane ticket home. Please, Talia, I have nothing." "Talia, are you there? Please. I know I made mistakes, terrible mistakes, but I'm still your husband. I'm still the girl's father. You can't just abandon me." Kennedy leaned forward, her voice cutting through the phone like a blade. "Hi, Dad." Silence. Then, "Kennedy?" "Yeah. Me and Peyton. We're all here, and Mom's not wiring you anything." "Sweetheart, this isn't your concern. This is between your mother and me. Adult business." Peyton laughed, sharp and bitter. "Adult business? Is that what you call stealing our college fund? Forging Mom's signature? Planning to abandon your family for your mistress? You don't understand. Sienna, We understand perfectly," I interrupted, finding my voice. My real voice, the one that had been buried under 19 years of trust and compromise. "We understand you stole $847,000, that you planned this for over a year, that you called your daughters entitled while drinking champagne with another woman. How do you—" "We know everything, Garrett. Every email, every transaction, every lie." The silence stretched out like a wire pulled too tight. When he spoke again, his voice had changed. Harder. Uglier. You went through my private accounts. That's a violation of your privacy? Kennedy cut him off. You violated our trust, our security, our future. Don't lecture us about violations. I want to come home, Garrett said. Talia, we can work through this. I'll pay everything back. Just give me another chance. No. The word came out simple, final, absolute. What? No, you're not coming home. You're not getting another chance. You chose Sienna over us. You chose money over your daughter's futures. Now you're living with those consequences. Talia, I'm stranded here. I have no money, no credit cards. I can't even pay for my hotel room. They're going to throw me out tomorrow. You should have thought about that before you drained Kennedy and Peyton's college fund. Don't do this. Please. I'm begging you. And that's when Peyton delivered the killing blow. You're not stranded, Dad. You have exactly $48,217 in your hidden account. The one at Mountain West Credit Union under Grandma Crawford's maiden name. The one you thought we didn't know about. The sound he made wasn't human. Somewhere between a sob and a scream. How? That's impossible. We found it yesterday, Kennedy said calmly. And yes, it's enough for a plane ticket and a security deposit on a cheap apartment. That's more than you left us with. You can't do this. I'll sue. I'll press charges. That's theft. That's exactly what you did to us, I said. The difference is, we have evidence of your crimes. The forgery, the embezzlement, the wire fraud. All of it. Agent Kim had briefed us. Let him panic. Let him reveal his plans. The college fund, I continued. You transferred $431,000 to the Caymans. Except you didn't. Sabrina got that money. And then Kennedy took it back. What? Our 17-year-old daughter hacked into your mistress's cryptocurrency account and recovered every penny you stole. Plus interest. Plus the retirement account. Plus the mortgage money. All of it. We got it all back, Garrett. That's impossible. That money was untraceable. Sabrina already moved it to a wallet with a backdoor Kennedy created 3 weeks ago. Peyton finished. Sabrina thought she was stealing from you. She was actually giving everything back to us. The silence on the phone was the sound of a man's entire world collapsing. You're lying, Garrett finally whispered. Check your accounts, Kennedy said. All of them. The Cayman account? 0. Sabrina's cryptocurrency wallet? 0. The only money you have left is that hidden account, and the FBI is monitoring it. The moment you try to withdraw, they'll arrest you. FBI. His voice cracked. What did you do? We did what you should have done, I said. We protected our family. Sabrina's already in custody, Peyton added. Singapore arrested her this morning. She's wanted in 4 countries now. You picked a real winner, Dad. So, here's what's going to happen, I said, pulling out the envelope Agent Kim had left. You're going to sign divorce papers that give me full custody, the house, and every remaining asset. You're going to cooperate with the FBI investigation into Sabrina. You're going to make restitution to Patterson and Associates for the embezzlement. And if I don't, then we send everything to the prosecutors, the forged signatures, the unauthorized transfers, all of it. You'll go to prison for 20 years, Dad, Kennedy said. Your choice. I loved you, he whispered. All of you. I just wanted to be happy. You wanted to be selfish, I corrected. There's a difference. What happened to you, Talia? You used to be kind, forgiving. You happened, Garrett. You stole my kindness and forgiveness along with everything else. But you underestimated our daughters. They're smarter than both of us combined. Agent Kim had arranged everything. Electronic signatures, witnesses. The divorce would be finalized in 60 days. Garrett would cooperate in exchange for reduced charges. 5 years instead of 20. And he would never contact us again. One last thing, I said. Your final call was supposed to change everything. It did. Just not the way you hoped. You called expecting rescue. You got justice instead. Remember that, Garrett. Remember that your daughters were the ones who brought you down. I hung up. 6 months later, Kennedy and Peyton graduated as co-valedictorians. The college fund was restored, actually larger than before thanks to Kennedy's cryptocurrency investments. Both girls accepted full scholarships, Kennedy to Stanford, Peyton to Columbia. My brilliant daughters had options now and futures they'd fought for. The house was ours, mortgage-free. Garrett's restitution payments to Patterson and Associates didn't touch our assets. Linda Torres had made sure of that. He was serving his sentence at a federal facility in Oklahoma, working in the prison library for 40 cents an hour. I'd been promoted to director of nursing at Denver General. I'd also started seeing a therapist, working through the betrayal and anger and grief. Healing was slow, but it was happening. Kennedy and Peyton launched a podcast called Phoenix Protocol, sharing advice for teenagers dealing with divorce and financial fraud. It had over 2 million downloads in the first month. They'd turn their trauma into advocacy, their pain into purpose. On graduation day, watching my daughters cross that stage in their crimson and gold gowns, I thought about Garrett's final call. He'd been right that it changed everything. It changed because it was the moment I stopped being a victim and became a survivor. It changed because my daughters showed me what strength looked like. Not the loud, obvious kind, but the quiet, calculated, devastating kind that rebuilds from ashes. It changed because the people who hurt you most sometimes teach you exactly how powerful you really are. That night, we celebrated at their favorite restaurant downtown. We toasted with sparkling cider, the three of us against the world. To Phoenix, Kennedy said, raising her glass. To Phoenix, Peyton echoed. To us, I added, to rising from the ashes. We clinked glasses and laughed. Real laughter, the kind that comes from surviving something dark and emerging stronger on the other side. Garrett had tried to burn our lives down to build his own. Instead, we'd risen from those flames, stronger, smarter, and unbreakable. His betrayal hadn't destroyed us. It had forged us into something he could never touch again. That was the real change. And it was everything. If this story of revenge and justice moved you, hit that subscribe button for Formidable Revenge Channel. Could you share this with someone who needs to know that betrayal doesn't have to be the end of the story? Sometimes it's just the beginning of something fiercer. Please drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. And remember, karma always finds its way home.